Welcome back. So, we're moving on to Gale Force Esports versus Clutch.
This is going to be so close and so intense. I hope, if anything of the rest of the tournament, has any say, than any justice in this world, this will be one of the best matches we've seen so far.
No, as we've come down to the wire, these games have been so close. And at this point, I don't know who to call it for. Gale Force, I've seen them. They've been here all week. They've been boot camping and scrimming, and they looked fantastic. Clutch, though, they came in, I believe, Thursday or Friday night, and they were just ready for this competition, breezing through their group stages, but now they are going to go ahead and face off in King's Row.
Well, something to keep in mind is something that Carnage said. He said these guys are hungry. Gale Force is hungry. And I said they can taste it. They know that the money is on the line. If they win this match, they're walking away with minimum $1,500.
Yeah.
First place is $5,000 here. They want that. They're hungry. They have the momentum. They just got done playing, and Colorado Clutch was sitting around. So they are warm. Gale Force is warm. They have the momentum on their side. It's up to Clutch to try to stop that momentum.
Yeah, currently we do see it's going to be Gale Force starting off on the offensive side, and they're floating around on a quite unusual composition. We see a double Widowmaker, one on JKW, who's normally the tank player, so I don't think he's actually going to stick with this.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting this to change up a little bit. But I saw these guys, both teams, having a little team huddle before this. They're taking this match really seriously. I know both these guys really want this, so I'm really excited to see what happens right here.
And they're actually going to stick to it. Actually, JKW is going to jump on down there.
There it is. There's the Reinhardt switch. So coming out full team comps. Right here we have Clutch on that Reinhardt, McCree, Lucio, Mercy, Soldier 76, and on the side of Gale Force we have Mercy, Reinhardt, Farah, Soldier 76, Junkrat, and a Widowmaker. So interesting to see a Soldier 76 on both sides.
Yeah, so Soldier 76 at this point, I don't know. It might be fatigue. The teams just want to be able to left click to win. But Lou in the back line is going to get that kill onto Harblue. So shutting down one of the DPS. But Gale Force is running a quad DPS setup right now.
Nice shots.
But Lou cleaning up Nicholas on that Widowmaker. Now they are going to push forward, try to take out this Reinhardt, but they Clutch are just going to force the retreat.
I've been really impressed with the way Lou plays. I loved his McCree. I loved his Soldier 76. His map movement and his shooting is really, really precise.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. The only hiccup he's had so far has been on the Bastion, but it was King of the Hill Bastion. He wasn't able to set up, and he just never caught his footing at that point. But on the Soldier 76, playing on the defense, he's doing an amazing job right now. They are pushing in Harblue on this Farah, is going to go hunting, and he's going to run into Lou. He's going to hunt him down, but Lou is able to make it to safety. But on the other end, Gale Force actually picks up 2-3 kills. And now, off the back of that Mercy res, Gale Force are going to be able to actually push forward, and it looks like Clutch is going to get cleaned up, and Gale Force should be able to secure point A.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. They're coming out hot. They just got done winning a really intense series. They're warm. Their shots are warm. Their communication's warm. They're going to carry it on the rest of the series. Are they going to continue this the rest of the tournament? If they do, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they are. Nicholas getting chased down by this Reinhardt who was swinging on him. Oh, Earthshatter comes out, but I think it only caught the enemy Reinhardt. So that's going to be Cora and Hot's going down. Lou, though, finds the one kill onto Joe Meister. Will slow down Gale Force just a little bit as Clutch has to back away and try to regroup here.
Harblue ultimate available. That barrage is available. Mercy Resurrect is available. The Riptire is available. So big ultimates on the side of Gale Force are up. Nothing on the side of Clutch besides that Primal Rage. So it's going to be pretty tough for Clutch to weather any type of storm that Gale Force is throwing at them. And that Farah Mercy combo just so deadly.
Yeah, currently we do hear the Riptire coming out, and it's going to be Torque trying to find a kill. But immediately Clutch is backing off. Now there is the Primal Rage Winston, but Harblue.
A little early right there. Could have went past the barrier and got that kill.
Yeah, Handsword is going to get cleared up by Harblue. Justice does come out. Harblue finds a kill onto Lumberjack. A second one onto WGB, and it looks like Gale Force just going to be able to push up with no defense really coming out from Clutch. They just weren't able to get their footing along this road.
That barrage was so huge. Taking out Lumberjack was so imperative because of the fact that he does have his ultimate available. So the Resurrect is shut down. Clutch can't do anything. Their support is dead. So really nice focus, really nice play. 4 players on fire now for Gale Force.
Yeah, Cora going down there might just give Clutch a moment to rethink what they're doing with their defensive side. Cora is going to go ahead and switch off. Got that McCree going. Oh, Hamsworth jumping on up, trying to find a pick onto anyone, but he has to fall back as he's down to 20 HP. That was very close.
This payload pushing really fast. This looks like a really solid time if they continue to push this one. Great when I say that the sound barrier does get popped, but one player taken down, that is the McCree. Gale Force has tons of ultimates. They are on fire, but looks like the Lucio is taken out. That was huge because he did have sound barrier available. Here comes the res though, and that was a huge res by Shake, and there goes the sound barrier. So very well executed, staggering those ultimates from Gale Force.
Yeah, and it looks like Gale Force should just be able to push this in. JKW ready to camp the spawn. We do have a tire. And both spawn exits covered right now as Torek finds that kill onto Hot for shots. That's going to be the first point for Gale Force, setting a blazingly fast speed.
That was super fast. I'm curious to see exactly what that was. I'm going to write that down, and keep in mind, guys, that Clutch will be going on the offensive now, and they have to beat this time, or they're going to, or if they finish it, they will be down either 2-0 or 2-1. So Gale Force going up 1-0, and here we go with the play of the game.
Fantastic Reinhardt, you know, he got a great Earth Shatter there, and like by the end of that fight, he was already a third of the way to his next Earth Shatter. So that's one of the biggest strengths of Reinhardt, WGB, with even 9,000 damage blocked. So fantastic job coming out of him. 357 is the time to beat for Clutch here.
In such a fast game, nobody had more than 13 eliminations. It's so rare to see such a fast game. Under 4 minutes is extremely impressive. They are super hot right now. Gale Force is on fire.
Yeah. I am going to go check on an issue real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining. We are working on a little bit of a sound issue really quick, and then we are going to get that fixed. But 28,000 people watching Overwatch during the first week. So amazing to see so many different people from so many different backgrounds coming here for this game that we all love. And it's just been an awesome experience. If you are in the Santa Ana area, what are you doing at home? Come to the Esports Arena. Make sure you come and watch these Losers Bracket Finals coming up. Also the Grand Finals coming up. Still plenty of time to get in here.
All right, so it is going to be Clutch's chance, but 357, that is going to be a very difficult time to beat.
You can't get demoralized if you know that it's gotten past that 4-minute mark, because there is an opportunity to walk away with a point here if you do finish. So no matter what, Clutch has to keep, their heads on their shoulders and realize that this isn't over yet. Gale Force is extremely hot right now. If you can cool them down, maybe you can start to heat up yourself. But if you don't put any water on this fire, it's just gonna burn you.
Yeah, so Gale Force right now on the defensive side, they've got the double support set up. They've got Shake on that Mercy, who he's been fantastic with this Mercy throughout the entire week and everything he's competed in. We have Joe Meister playing that Lucio. Torque and Harblu are going to be rocking the double McCree, but it's going to be Nicholas on that Widowmaker, which we should keep an eye on. On the side of Clutch, though, we've got Hamsword playing that Winston, WGB on the Reinhardt, Lumberjack, of course, playing that Mercy, and Hot for Shots on the Lucio. But it's going to be Cora and Louis actually playing the McCrees.
Yeah, his McCree's been extremely impressive right here. It's going to be up to him to kind of go up against the slang power that Gale Force is bringing to the table. Nicholas, obviously a really great Widowmaker, has been impressing us this entire weekend. It's going to be kind of coming down to the Slayer power, in my opinion.
And there we go. They are making that entry, made it past that choke point. And it's going to be Cora trying to find that first initial frag. They do spot out one member. It's going to be Nicholas. Louis picks up that kill.
Huge pick.
So, yeah, taking out one of the DPS. That's 2/3 of the damage coming out from Gale Force right now. So they're going to continue to push forward. And Louis spots out this Lucio, wants to get the kill. He gets the flashbang down. And so that's the sustain. Joe Meister going down. WGB finds a kill onto the tank.
Oh!
And so Harblu finally does answer back, but it might be a little too late. As Torjo is the last remaining member here, we do hear a res coming out, and that's going to be Clutch. All 6 members on this point, and that is definitely going to help them set a faster time against Gale Force.
So impressive, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Louis needs to come out hot on this McCree. Double McCree so strong right now in this meta, and 4 players on Clutch on fire, 0 for Gale Force right now. The Deadeye is available for Torque. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to use it quite yet. Probably going to slow play it and wait for his teammates to get in a perfect position to set him up. But this payload is pushing, and it's pushing pretty quickly.
All right, so let's take a look at the defensive posturing coming out from Gale Force here. They're actually playing pretty far up on the street here. Normally, you want to play closer to the end of that bend, but it's going to be Nicholas on this Widowmaker. Has to be careful. Does get tagged. Deadeye coming from behind. Torque lines up one. Gets Hot for Shots. So that is some of the sustain down. He
Nice
finds a second
double
and a third
flashbang.
kill. And wow, great flank coming out from him. Great positioning. And it looks like Clutch, they're going to be slowed down for now. And they desperately needed that on the side of Gale Force.
And that is that beautiful crowd there at the esports arena. We love these guys, but we want to get into the game. Hot for shots, obviously on fire right now, running through. And I'm pretty impressed the way that Clutch was able to come out right here. It all started with that pick, though, on Nicholas.
Yeah, I mean, they played that really well, right? He bided, both? Bided?
Oh, bided?
Yeah. We see Louis pushing forward as the flashbangs do come out. He's going to go ahead and pop his Deadeye, but I don't think he's actually going to be able to find anything off this unless
Really
for
nice
some reason the
barrier right
Reinhardt
there.
drops his shield. No, he's not going to find any kills, but that does give Clutch the space to push forward and get the payload moving again.
Yeah, just a really nice barrier coming out from the Reinhardt. Stop the Deadeye in its tracks. And it stinks, right? When you pull your Deadeye and then all of a sudden you see that Reinhardt shield and a really nice Deadeye right there coming from the core of the flashbang as well. Nice little combat roll, fans the kills right there and takes out 2 players. Very impressive McCree play.
That was a great pick onto Shake's Mercy. He had the res ready, but unfortunately she got shut down. Louis and Cora doing a great job as the fraggers for Clutch.
So this payload is pushing right here. I don't think that they're going to be able to beat that 4-minute time. They are looking really close, but if they don't continue to push this and just constantly slay them here, I don't think they're going to match that time. But like I said, it's not really about that. It's about kind of weathering the storm, and I think they've done a good job of that.
Yeah, right now we do see the beat was dropped on the side of Gale Force, and it's going to be WGB trying to throw down to Earth Shatter, but he's got to back off. Torcho is trying to push in, trying to aggress as they try to defend this payload. It hasn't quite hit the checkpoint yet, so another right click, but they're not going to be able to finish off these kills, and it's going to be Louis and Cora answering right on back. It's a 5v5 right now. As I say that, Cora finds another kill onto Nicholas, and so now it looks like Clutch should be able to push this forward as Louis gets the flashbang. The barrier does come up. We have the Graviton Surge. It's going to land onto 2 members of Gale Force, trying to clean them up, but it's very difficult how beefy Winston and Reinhardt can be. We do hear a High Noon coming out, and Gale Force are going to try and drop back. They do have the safety of that Reinhardt shield, but Harblu too far out, gets cleaned up by Louis, and now Reinhardt does charge in, but Torque finds a kill on WGB as Louis answers right on back. Torcho continuing to aggress, gets another kill onto Hamsword as the reses do come out. Now this Winston tries to jump on top of Louis right now. Primal Rage, and I don't know if he's going to actually have the damage for this, but the High Noon does come out, and right now it looks like Gale Force starting to clean up here. 5 members down on the side of Clutch, 2 members down actually as Lumberjack has respawned, but Gale Force held.
Such a crazy fight. Love that picture-in-picture in the bottom right so we can see exactly what's happening on the payload. And Lumberjack was the unsung hero that entire fight for Clutch, but once he got taken out after he got that res, there was really not much to try to stop that damage coming out from Gale Force. So once they took out Lumberjack, that was the key to get them to stop on that defense.
All right, so there's still 3 minutes on the clock, but I think Gale Force definitely have the time advantage, but if they could shut down Clutch here, start off with that 2-0 lead, as we do hear the double High Noons coming out. Fortunately, Gale Force only going to lose that Harblu there. Torcho answers back, but Cora trading right back, taking out the tank. Nicholas finds the second kill onto Cora, and now they're pushing forward. We do have the reses coming out, but it's going to be Clutch coming up huge. Taking a 2-for-2 trade, though, they have to back off, and it's Torcho right here in the back line. Left clicks onto that Lumberjack, gonna take out the Mercy, and it looks like Gale Force might be able to hold again. Cora does have the Deadeye, probably gonna hold off. Does find the Winston in the back line. She's just gonna go ahead and try to save herself, make sure, you know, the spawns aren't too staggered. Oh, and I think that was a panic right click there, and Clutch are gonna have to regroup.
Yeah, tried to get away, but Winston knew exactly the route that he was taking. So a really nice flank coming around, making sure the McCree can't get the flank. The Deadeye was available. That could have been pretty bad for the side of Gale Force. But again, Winston on top of Harblu doing exactly what he needs to do to take out Cora.
All right, so 2 minutes left on the clock. Clutch have about maybe 3 more attacks left in them to try and get to the next checkpoint. We do have the High Noon, double High Noon coming out on the side of Clutch. Unfortunately, they weren't able to find it. This Reinhardt has been fantastic about timing his shield for that, making sure, you know, it's not getting taken down. And it's going to be a counter High Noon coming out from Nicholas, who lines up 2. Louis does answer back, taking out Harblu, though, but a 2-for-1 trade. That's the tank going
Really
down
nice
on the side of Gale
Shatter.
Force. We do have the res coming out, but Gale Force are going to continue to aggress on them, and it is the Reinhardt in the back, JKW, trying to swing on Hamsword, but he's got to be careful because Hamsword currently charged up to 69. He's finally going to get cleaned up, and Gale Force holding again against Clutch.
Such good defense, and they have 4 ults ready. They have the Earthshatter, they have the Res, they have the Primal Rage, they have all the ultimates they need with that sound barrier to take this and make sure they don't get that checkpoint, make sure they get that 2-0 lead.
All right, so a minute left. So last time I said that, we had 2 minutes on the clock, and I think if that last fight was any indicator, Clutch need to make this work, and they do have 3 ultis currently to work with it, but Gale Force with that ulti advantage, they're going to go ahead and break it down and push forward. It's Hamsword. He does have the Graviton Surge, but unfortunately the team fight is so scattered, he doesn't find a good target as the Earthshatter does come down. Oh,
huge.
JKW with that nice charge, but he gets cleaned up. What is going on? Clutch somehow saving that team fight, and it looks like they are going to be able to extend the map.
I can't believe Clutch got to that checkpoint. Gale Force was looking so impressive on defense. Clutch's fans going crazy in the crowd, and I'm just shocked that they were able to pull that one off. They do have 3 ultimates available, so they can continue to push this payload and try to get that point that they desperately need.
All right, so unfortunately Clutch aren't going to be able to beat this time by any stretch of the imagination, so Gale Force looks like might take the 2-1 as a high noon does come out. There's going to be another engage. That Lucio sound barrier, we see a Reaper coming into the back line, but Torque is the one that's doing all the damage on the side of Gale Force, getting a double kill along with Joe Meister helping in the back, clearing that WGB on the Reinhardt. We do have the res coming out, and Cora answers right on back, taking out Torque. So we do see that Shake is holding it off in the back line. If he wants the res, he's just going to go hold on to it as Clutch try to regroup here.
Yeah, trying to regroup here, trying to push this payload so they can get to this final checkpoint. It's going to be pretty tough right here. They're coming around the bend, and they don't have much available, but it looks like Harblue up here with the Mercy, going to try to get a flank. Death Blossom not available, but still has a really nice opportunity to come behind the enemy team.
Oh, wow. Nice dodge in the flashbang there from Harblue, and now he is on top of this Reinhardt, should be able to clean him up, and it's going to be Torque and Nicholas rocking that double McCree, cleaning up Clutch right now. That's 5 members down, and Lumberjack has to fall back, and that's a total team wipe. 1 minute left on the clock. Clutch only have 1 attack left in them.
Harblue did so much work during that team fight, ends up using the Wraith form. So he flanks the team, uses the Wraith form after that flashbang, right when that flashbang went off, so he was able to not get stunned, not take any damage, comes around and just lays down the damage.
Yeah, and right now things are not looking good for Clutch as Gale Force are holding on to 3 ultis. And if you look at Torque, he's actually at 98% right now. So as long as he hits 1, Cora taking out Harblue though, that's a good way to start off this team fight. And they aggress, Cora getting a triple kill so far. Shake is still alive though, so we can see a 4-man res as we do see that last McCree getting cleaned up. And that's the res coming out. So Gale Force still have a lot of life left in them. But as I say that, Louis getting the 3K, gets the 4K. Clutch are still in it. It's going to be down to Harblue. He does have his die, but it's not going to be enough. He only gets Lumberjack, gets a 2nd kill onto Hopper shots, and he's just trying to buy time for his team as they are respawning. He gets a 3rd kill. What is going on in this match right now?
Still alive?
I'm at a loss for words here.
How did Harblue bring that back? Is he going to be able to get the point for his team? He does. Harblue single-handedly taking Wraith form, contesting that, and it looks like Clutch is going to fall just short of getting that point that they need. Gale Force goes up 2-0. What a game, Jamerson.
That came down to the wire, and that was that hero play coming out of Harblue, getting that 3K in a 1v4 against Clutch. That was amazing.
And here it is right here. Louis just doing so much work with this McCree. Just wasn't enough.
Unfortunately, no. There were back-to-back-to-back hero plays, but ultimately, it's Harblue on this Reaper that did so much work. Take a look at that 17 objective kills, 17 people on the payload that he eliminated and kept Gale Force in that game, giving them the 2-0 lead.
The players that needed to lay down the damage for Gale Force did. You saw that huge damage coming out from both players. The McCree and the Reaper combo was just too much. I can't believe they were not able to finish him off right at the end. He was sitting there in Death Blossom mode. He's vulnerable. He's standing still. You can easily kill that guy, but he took down 3 players with it.
That was amazing to watch, and I can't wait for this next game. Unfortunately, it went 2-0, but Clutch tried so hard there, but on the streets portion of Kings Row, they were just shut down for so long. I mean, it came down to one last team fight before they were able to actually hit that last checkpoint. And then from there, it was just really difficult, very little time for them to actually try to push in, and that was a tough position for them to be in.
Clutch showed a lot of fight, especially after that first game didn't go how they wanted.
Yeah, they're not out of it.
They're not out of it. They're not out of it. If I was them, I would probably shy away from payload. They weren't able to put up much fight on defense. I'd probably look to get a CP map here, a control point map, and try to do something around those lines. And I think that's what we're going to have.
Yeah, so we are on Nepal here. We've seen a lot of Nepal this weekend. And I can't remember how either team fared. I believe Clutch have less experience here on Nepal. I think yesterday was the first time they had played it in a few days. Or no, the game earlier today in the losers bracket was the first time they had played Nepal in a few days. So less experience on this so far. We'll see what Gale Force can do, but this is going to be a tough match.
Yeah, taking a look at the potential team comps that we have here, it looks like Clutch going with the McCree, Widow, Reinhardt, Mercy, Soldier 76, and Lucio. Looks like Gale Force going with a double Tracer, Widow, maybe triple Tracer? I'm not sure if they're just trolling right now, but we have a triple Tracer, a Lucio, Chobjorn, and another Tracer. So possible quad Tracer? Is this what they're going to go with? It looks like they are.
No, it's the 5 Tracer, 1 Lucio.
Oh, no.
This is going to be hectic. I don't even want to cast this. Like, I don't think I can cast this. Joe Meister playing the Lucio. Let's just hard blue on the Tracer.
So many blinks that we can't close our eyes.
No, it's going to be so hectic. And, like, you know, the thing that this comp does is sow a lot of confusion. You could have multiple people just going in, taking a little pop shot here and there, and then backing off, and then just trading off that duty, and Shake and Harblu are able to actually pick up 2 kills. Core does clean up JKW, but right now it looks like the red team currently trying to take the point, and this 5 Tracer working out as they find that 4th kill, and they're going to go ahead and be the first ones to take control of that point.
And the cheese is working. It's really working. They have this 5 Tracer team comp, and it worked out for them. If you are sniping on this Widowmaker, you come out. Who is sniping? I believe it was Hamsword. Hamsword comes out with Widowmaker. What do you do when there's 5 Tracers and a Lucio? So impossible to hit.
Well, I remember when we were interviewing Team Liquid the other day, we asked them about the 5 Tracer comp, and they said that this is a legitimate strat, that this is not cheese. But
I still think it's cheese. Anything with 5 Tracers or anything with more than 3, in my opinion, is definitely cheese. But hey, it's working. I mean, and it's not like it's easy to pull off.
No.
Tracer is a very hard hero to play, and it looks like Clutch was able to get inside here. I don't know if Gale Force is going to stick with this. It looks like they are. Okay,
but we do have the 2 Winsons coming out along with Korra on that Pharah. So there's a lot of AoE that they can deal with, and you know, those Winsons with the Tesla cannons can make short work of a Tracer. Only 150 HP. As long as they focus, they should be fine. But Torque finding that kill onto Hopper shots. So that is part of the sustain. But Korra is going to survive as she tries to jump in. Another pulse bomb comes out. And at this point right now, these Winsons are actually working against Clutch right now, as Shake is just using it to farm his ultimate, and they're going to regain control of this point, but it's 36-34 right now. Gale Force maintaining control over this point.
I'm not sure if the double Winston is going to be able to counter these Tracers. Maybe something like Zarya would work here. But I do love the Soldier 76 pick. When I'm playing personally, I love to have that 1v1 against the Tracer, because I feel like the Helix Rockets plus the heal are something that throws her off. Yeah. You also have that medium to close range potential. And Louis right here popping the tactical visor. Is he going to be able to clean up anybody? He can't, but he can capture the point for his team.
So it is still Gale Force maintaining control over this point, but we are seeing the contest coming out from Clutch right now. Lumberjack is down, and that was with the Resurrection in tow, and unfortunately he's not going to be there for this fight, as Korra has dropped. Nicholas drops the pulse bomb. Isn't going to find anyone. With these Tracers zipping around, they're creating a really spread out battlefield, and they're able to actually solo people out, and that's one of the best ways that Tracer works, right? In these 1v1 situations, as they're pulling apart this Clutch team right now, they can't seem to focus on anyone, and Gale Force just having their way with Clutch.
And this is what I'm talking about with that Soldier 76 fight. It's so impossible to take this guy down because he throws down the health, and then he also goes and picks up the health pack as well. So it's just so annoying. Lou staying alive as long as possible while just laying down. Any other Tracer would just go and kill any type of hero right there. And that's why I feel like this Soldier 76 pick is really strong.
Yeah, so Clutch, in that meantime, were able to gain control of that point and clear out the Tracers. So this composition might just be working, and it was off the back of that Korra barrage. Now, the first Winston is going to jump in. That's going to be WGB actually waiting in the back line here. Shakes finished off Slumberjacks. So, again, we're not going to have a rest for this team fight. They have to be careful. They have to play a little bit more cautiously as Lou does get picked off. And now Joe Meister and JKW, along with Torek, just opening up. Hot for shots, though, is going to be able to clean a few up. And now this double Winston is finally starting to pay off for them as Hot for shots is going to drop it down. And it looks like they do maintain it. It is going into overtime now. It looks like Clutch just might be able to get their first point on this match.
It's so hard, though, because the Tracers are just going to be flying from the base, doing the triple blink to try to go and contest this in the overtime. But it looks like the overtime is starting to fall. No, there it is. It's back. So, again, these guys from Gale Force with this Tracer composition just constantly flying in, trying to contest. They need to take this right here in order to come back.
Yeah, Nicholas was able to contest just for a short time, but right now there's only 2 Tracers on the point. Nicholas does have to recall, but he's at 73 HP. He's so fragile right now. He has to be careful. One more hit and he's down. So now with 2 Tracers and a Lucio to make that 1 Tracer, it's going to be all down to Torjo to try and hold his point, but it's going to be Clutch getting the first point of this match. It's going to be 2-1 right now against Gale Force.
Huge, and you got to wonder if Gale Force is a little, thrown off by this pick here, this control point pick. Maybe they aren't as strong as a control point team as other teams may be, and I think that they need to go exactly. They need to get away from this 5 Tracer comp. I think that once they started to lose, I think that they should have made a switch midway through. I did like it to start, but what are you going to do with 5 pulse bombs? It's so much better to have a res on your team. It's so much better to have a barrage on your team at that point.
Yeah, and so out of Gale Force, yeah, like you said, we do see the adjustment coming out. It's going to be this triple bruiser comp, right? Double Zarya along with the Winston, and it's going to be up to Nicholas to actually get the damage down for his team, as we do have the double Lucio coming out on the side of Gale Force, and they're going to progress through this hallway here, and already 4 quick kills coming out of Gale Force. They are pushing forward with so much aggression right now, and WGB has to back away, and it looks like he's running towards his own spawn? Yes, okay, it is his own spawn. I'm sorry. I was just so astounded by how quickly they got to the other side of the map that I did not remember where the spawns were.
Well, I really like this composition compared to the previous one. First of all, it's a lot easier to cast, but the double Zarya is so underrated. Zarya is something that I believe Still Here was talking about feels even stronger on LAN, and that's something that you got to take into consideration is when you go and you have that latency, you don't have any ping, and you go and you play on LAN, some are going to be stronger than others, and Zarya seems to be that hero.
Yeah, the amount of damage mitigation she offers is vast, and the utility along with that Graviton Surge, it's hard to decide the value on that, and there we go. Harblue is going to get cleared off, but it's an immediate trade. Gale Force still maintaining control over this point, and it's at 34% currently, so Gale Force want to make this a quick 3-1.
Yeah, I really like the way that Gale Force is playing this one. I don't know if that was Cheese previously. I don't think it was, because they stuck with it the entire time and they really want this win. But as you can see, now that they switched off, they've been playing so much better.
Yeah. Right now, Gale Force aggressing on them as they try to push through that choke point. And it's going to be Louis on this Reaper. We haven't actually seen him pick out this Louis. The Graviton Surge does come out. No, unfortunately, the Tracer Bomb isn't going to finish anyone off yet, but Cora will. And it looks like Clutch just might be able to take control at this point. We do have the beat getting dropped, and there's a counter Graviton Surge. And it looks like Gale Force will clean this up. The res does come out from Lumberjack. So now it's a 5v6. There's some life left in Clutch here, but they have to find a kill. They get the kill onto JKW. Torque is actually going to drop too, and now Clutch are forcing them back, and they're going to take control over the point. They're currently at 22%.
That was huge. I love how Clutch said, okay, these guys are running double Zarya, we're going to run double Zarya, and now they have 3 ults ready. Gale Force only 2, so advantage Clutch. They have the point, they have the ultimates, they have the momentum on their side. It's their game to lose.
All right, so Gale Force making their entry onto this point, but take a look at this. They actually ran into no opposition there whatsoever as the Graviton Surge comes out. I imagine it hit about 5-6 people, but unfortunately there was no follow-up. There we go. Wow. Cora coming in with the barrage, finishing it off, getting the 5 kills.
Team kill.
Woo, that was such a great bait coming out of coming out of Clutch. Did you see that? Gale Force ran onto the point and they looked around. Where is everyone? Oh, here's a Graviton Surge for that. And Cora coming up huge with that barrage.
That's exactly what we're talking about. They had the ultimates on their side. Again, they do have this res. So, advantage over to Clutch. Really loved how they played that. Really love how they baited that. Looks like Gale Force is making their push right now. Here comes the Death Blossom. Is he going to be able to get any kills? He does. Louis picking up 2, possibly 3. No, Harblue takes him out.
All right, and so yeah, that 2-for-1 trade working in the favor of Clutch right now. This first he has to be careful as the res does come out. Nicholas is going to finish off Lumberjack, so right now, Gale Force looking a little bit better at this point, but no, WGB and Louis running into the back line, picking up 3 kills for themselves. They want this point, and they're going to clean up that Tracer. Nicholas falling, and it looks like at 92%, they might just be able to stop them as Gale Force are trying to trickle in one at a time, and with only about 5 seconds left on the map, it looks like Clutch are going to be able to tie it up 2-2.
Yeah, no 5 Tracers this time to blink into overtime and try to contest the point, and it looks like Clutch is going to tie the series up 2-2. Jamerson, we have a series.
Wow, Clutch. What a fantastic job. Let's talk about that bait.
This is it right here.
This is it right here. So Hamsword, they completely just evacuate that site. Graviton Surge comes out, all the right clicks. There's the secondary Graviton Surge with Korra coming in, stacking that ulti. It was damage boosted. They melted and they destroyed them.
That was a disgusting play, a disgusting bait, and I can't believe they were able to tie that series up. All the momentum in the world on Gale Force's side, and now Clutch possibly can take this series, possibly can slide into face Liquid in that loser's bracket finals.
Well, right now they want to take it to the third map, and actually this is definitely going to the third map, but we're going to figure out who is going to take the lead going into that final map here, and this is such a great series so far. You know, Gale Force were able to take that 2-0 on King's Row, but Clutch definitely has so much life left in them here. And you can see on their faces they are so pleased with that, and they should be, because that was such a great play there.
Whoever made that call, they're the real MVP.
Like, I want to get Clutch. I don't care who wins or loses. Clutch has to get on there. I want to ask them about that play. Who made that call? Because that was fantastic. So yeah, that was Colorado Clutch getting that point here on Nepal. Wow.
So we actually haven't seen a series this close on the main stage, Jamerson. What are the rules now for these guys? What will be happening next on this next map?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got this completely backwards. So it was a 2-0-2-0 for both teams on the map. So it's tied up 2-2, right? And at this point, third map, winner takes all. And remember, the teams are battling for that secured $1,500. So a lot is on the line here.
Yeah, so that was absolutely huge. If they would have lost that right there, they would have been out of the tournament. They would have been going home empty-handed. Obviously, they would have, taken some of the free stuff that you guys should be here grabbing, but it's not their time.
Yeah, and right now it looks like we are loading onto Dorado. That is going to be the final map of this matchup. Well, this could go to a 1-1. And that would mean we'd go tie into the tiebreaker. So we might have more Overwatch in store for us. We will see. It is going to be, I believe it should be Gale Force Esports starting off on the attacking side, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is going to be Gale Force starting off on the attacking side here on Dorado. And, both teams have had a lot of practice. I remember watching both of them scrim throughout the week, and there was a lot of Dorado, to say the least. So it's going to be very tough to call this, but I think it might be Gale Force, because I've seen them for about 5 days just scrimming every single day, and a good third of their matches were here on Dorado.
Something to keep in mind, though, Clutch, huge momentum on their side. They're playing at a really high level right now, especially when Gale Force was playing so well. And let's take a look at the team comps right here. Potential team comps coming out from the side of Colorado Clutch. It looks like we have the Bastion, Mercy, Winston, Lucio, Reinhardt, McCree. On the side of Gale Force, we have the Winston, we have the Genji, possible double Hanzo. I don't know if that's going to stay Lucio and Mercy. Curious to see if that double Hanzo works out.
Yeah, it looks like, Nicholas is going to go ahead and switch off. They just wanted to, create the fireworks for us from in base. But Nicholas on that Pharah, we haven't seen as much Pharah for Nicholas, but we've got Louis on that Bastion. They're going to go ahead and set up on that top patio there, which is a pretty popular position.
Whoa.
But wow, they're already on top of them. Harblu finishing off Louis, and Korra is going to answer back by killing off Torek. But they're still aggressing on them at this point. The payload is being pushed this entire time. And take a look at that. 2-for-2 trade is going to favor Gale Force as the respawn do favor Gale Force on the offense here. Shorter walk times at this point. We do have a res already coming out about 20-30 seconds into this game, and this is so hectic.
Start.
Yeah, right now though, Gale Force still pushing forward this payload, and the Bastion hasn't been able to get back into positions. Louis is actually going to stay on it. High Noon did come out, but nothing came of it. And right now, Nicholas No challenge whatsoever here in the air. Is getting free reign, dropping it down. Louis does find that kill onto Shake, so that could be a good pick. But Harblu will find the kill onto Hamsword. Louis finds another one. Nicholas brought down. He has to fall back as that Winston does drop on top of him, and it looks like they're going to clean that up, and Gale Force Esports continue to push this in.
Yeah, advantage Gale Force right now. They do have 4 ultimates available. Mercy has her res, double Primal Rage, also Barrage, and now Genji has his ult available as well. Clutch only with that Primal Rage on their side. Bastion eventually going to go into take mode. Mercy's going to have her ultimate too. Reinhardt, so it's going to be 4 ults versus 5, and let's see what happens here.
Yeah, we did have that res coming out on the side of Gale Force, it looked like, as Shake had to use that. But right now, the Primal Rage coming out from Clutch, but is it enough right now?
Lumberjack just waiting.
Yep, Lumberjack is waiting, and that's going to be the 4-man res coming out from Clutch. Great job on the side of Lumberjack. He does get cleaned up, but JKW jumping on top of them has to be careful here, as the McCree is pretty close, but no, Korra gets finished off, and now JKW with that Primal Rage, 4 seconds left on it, is trying to jump on this Bastion, and generally, yep, he is going to clean him up, but Torcho trading right on back, but that's going to still work in the favor of Gale Force with the man advantage here on the point. Payload just less than a meter away from actually getting that checkpoint, and it's all down to this Bastion to try and hold it, but I don't know how much longer. Hamsword is going to get cleaned up here, and it looks like Gale Force should push that in, and they made that first checkpoint.
They made it tough for him, though. That was a really hectic fight. We've seen absolutely crazy team fights to start, and I'm loving the way this game's being played.
Ooh. So, yeah, Gale Force Esports continue to push this payload forward. They got to be careful here. We aren't seeing... Yeah, so Korra is sticking on this McCree. She does have that Deadeye up, but she hasn't had the opportunity to open up yet.
No one's been able to have an answer for Nicholas either on this fair. He's been getting the high ground. He's been having the Mercy help. He's been putting all the rockets down. I guess they're going to try to counter this by getting the high ground, but Fair is just going to be able to jetpack up and lay down the necessary shots when it's time.
Yeah, Nicholas does have that barrage, just waiting for it. Gets healed up. He does have that pocket Mercy, so that must be really nice to have. As they push forward, the beat is dropped by Joe Meister as Gale Force try to engage. But they got to be careful as the Justice does come out. Nicholas finds one kill, finds a second onto Hots, and it's going to be Harblu cleaning up the kill onto Louis. So now, Gale Force Esports, as the res does come out on the side of Clutch, they got to do this all over again. And it looks like they are going to be able to clean up once more.
They don't have an answer for this Ferret. Nicholas just putting down so much damage.
Yeah, with that pocket Mercy, it must be really nice at this point. I wish I could have that in my quick play matches.
Right?
And Gale Force Esports continuing to push forward this payload, and they're setting a great time so far.
Really nice rockets coming out from Nicholas. Just been so impressed with the way that he's been playing this entire tournament. Obviously, his team is setting up to make these plays. You have to have the comp around you in order to lay down the damage. But with that being said, they get to the second checkpoint.
Yep, so 6 minutes now on the clock for Gale Force Esports to finish this off. And Clutch just need to regroup at this point, because right now they're funneling in one at a time, and it looks like they might be on tilt, and that would be unfortunate. We do have the res coming out from Lumberjack, and so they are starting to stabilize here. Louis is still in the back line, and Nicholas with that Justice gets Hots and Hamsword. Torque is going ham in the back line here, gets a 3K, and Gale Force are continuing to push in.
They just don't have an answer right now. They need to either go Widow. They need something to try to pick off this fair. And Nicholas on fire. 4 or 5 members for Gale Force on fire.
Yeah, and deservedly so.
This is the way we saw them play that first payload map. Obviously not the best CP team at the tournament, but when it comes to payload, they really turn it on.
All right, so Nicholas still on this fair, doing a fantastic job so far. Has that pocket Mercy, has to fall back, almost drops to that high noon. It was a millisecond away from finishing him off, but Torque is going to answer back, getting a double kill of his own before Louis finally puts him down, but Joe Meister answers right back. We do have a res coming out of Gale Force. Unfortunately, right now, Clutch starting to get dropped, and now it's down to Lumberjack and Hots to try and hold this. Hamsword has switched off to that Reaper, though. We'll see if that actually helps out, that extra DPS, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time. He already Wraith walks in, but he's going to easily get cleaned up by Torque, and this time set by Gale Force is going to be incredible. Now, they are going to go ahead and break it down on the side of Gale Force Esports. Lumberjack has to be careful. Falls back, is going to try and wait. He's got 2 more seconds before his res is up, but I don't know if that's going to be enough time. There we go. 2-man res, though. Is that going to be enough for Clutch to hold it as the Justice does come out from Nicholas? And this Reinhardt has to be the hero for the game right now, as he is the only one on the point right now.
Yeah, Clutch just needs to do whatever they can to weather the storm. Obviously, Gale Force is going to be able to push this one in eventually. It's just a matter of when, and they have to try to stop this team from getting this hot time.
Oh, Earthshatter coming out on the side of Clutch. This might be the hold that they need, as JKW is eliminated. Rez does come out. Now it's going to be a 3v5, and Clutch just might be able to hold here.
Yeah, first time we're seeing some really solid defense from Clutch. Looks like Gale Force is starting to drop for the first time. The fire is going to be putting out, but all 6 members for Gale Force on fire right now.
Yeah, currently though, Hamster trying to run back to spawn. I think he's going to switch off. I want to see what he goes to. Louis is switching off to this. I'm sorry, not switching off. Has this McCree, has the Deadeye ready. So 3 minutes, 25 seconds to hold. This is going to be very rough.
Pushing the payload. Yep, pushing the payload back a little bit. That was a really, really big stop because it is going to come down to time. The series is so close. Whoever gets that point, that extra point, is going to win the series. So it's so important for these guys to step up their defense when they really need it.
All right, High Noon is lined up, and the Earthshatter is going to allow Louis to pick up 1 kill. WGB with that charge finds the second one, and that's the DPS coming out along with that Mercy going down as WGB in the back line got a 4 kill, it looks like.
Wow.
Great cleanup, great hold by Clutch.
And we haven't been giving WGB that much love. The Reinhardt, the tanks, never getting the love that they deserve, but that was huge right there. That stop, we can't even put enough emphasis on how big that really was.
And 2 minutes, 37 seconds left. Clutch might be able to do this. We do see a D.Va coming out on the side. It's going to be Korra. Does have that ultimate ready. And he's going to go ahead and pop that self-destruct, but I don't know if it's going to catch anyone. That Reinhardt charge not actually working out. Korra's going to get cleaned up by Nicholas. And Torque in the back line gets that kill onto WGB.
Res available, there it is.
Be careful. There is the res on Lumberjack. He does get the double res, but the justice is coming out from Nicholas. He finds the 1 kill onto Louis, and now things are looking bad for Clutch. Mercy starting to get focused down, and he gets cleaned up by Joe Meister of all people. Nicholas and the rest of Gale Force opening up. It's going to be down to Korra, but no, Korra gets dropped, and it looks like Gale Force just might be able to finish this off.
Yeah,
Louis
nobody
has
on Nicholas,
Tracer.
They have to get on Nicholas right there. They had such a good job stopping him right there, but Barrage came out. Nicholas just laying down rockets from the top, and it looks like these guys are pushing this payload. All 6 people on the payload right now.
Yeah, all 6 members of Gale Force alive, and it's going to be down to Korra, but no, Gale Force is going to finish that off.
There it is. Let's get the timestamp to see what those last holds from Clutch were huge, Jamerson. Absolutely huge. And here it is. Oh, we're going to get to see the play.
Yeah, I believe this is the 4K coming out of WGB. And he starts it off with this Earthshatter. And he's going to go ahead and charge on in. Who does he get first? He gets that first kill onto Harblu. And take a look at that right there at that point. Both DPS, along with that Mercy, were gone. So that team fight was just over for Gale Force at that point.
8 minutes, 20 seconds. Could have easily been, what, you think 6 minutes flat if they didn't make those stops?
Unfortunately, despite that great play coming out from WGB, it wasn't enough, and Gale Force were able to finish off that map. So Clutch are going to have their opportunity to answer on back, but in a time of 8 minutes 20, definitely beatable.
Yeah, you got to feel good right now if you're Clutch because you did weather that last storm. Yeah. They know the time to beat. Will that give them the advantage going in? They're going to have an internal clock. They need to make sure that they do everything they can to get this first checkpoint as fast as possible, get this momentum on their side because obviously they're keeping up stride for stride with Gale Force Esports.
So remember, currently it is tied up, or not tied up, it's 3-2 because Gale Force were able to finish it up. But as long as Clutch get a faster time finishing the payload under 8:20, they win. They move on. They're going to go ahead to face off against Team Liquid.
So it all comes down to this is what you're saying, Jamerson.
It does. It really does. Right now, Clutch, though, going to give us the light show here with those 6 Hanzos. And you got to shoot into the air, guys. Into the air, not into the wall.
These guys putting on a show right here, hanging out around the cactus. Beautiful flowers here.
We do see out of Gale Force, we're going to go ahead and see a Symmetra on Joe Meister. You know, he has been playing mostly that Lucio, but it is a good idea to try to get a Symmetra down, you know, kind of have that double res mechanic, right? Get people back to the fight faster. But I don't think we've seen Symmetra having the greatest of success so far this weekend.
My standout players to watch are the DPSers for both teams on Gale Force Esports. I really want to see what is coming from the side of Nicholas. Huge Widowmaker plays this entire weekend. And then Louis on this McCree, his staple hero. Is he going to be able to go huge? Is he going to be able to carry his team into that losers bracket finals match against Team Liquid?
It's going to be close. So we do see the double Winston, WGB and Hamsword rocking those tanks on the side of Clutch. Hot for shots, of course, on that Lucio Lumberjack, doing a fantastic job with the Mercy so far. And it's going to be Cora back on that Pharah. She was doing a pretty good job at the beginning of this map on the defense.
And some cheeky little sentry turrets placed up right there for the side of Symmetra on Gale Force.
Oh, nice hook in, but he's not able to finish that off. Harblue has to back off. Now he is actually on the hunt for this Winston here.
Chain hook doesn't land, and we haven't seen much Roadhog, so it's pretty refreshing to see at this point in the game.
He does offer a good variety here. And right now, Hamsword does have to back off as it looks like Clutch want to regroup. Possibly trying to decide whether or not they want to switch off, but no, they're going to go ahead and stick with the double Winston. WGB has jumped in, and he's been chunked down quite a bit. Torque is going to finish him off. It was a trade 1-for-1 as Nicholas did fall. Nicholas was on that Widowmaker. They've successfully made it through this choke point, though.
Interesting that they're doing this all without a Reinhardt either. Typically, you see in these payload maps, the Reinhardt just sitting right at the front, helping push that payload towards the front. These guys electing to go with double Winston instead.
Oh, and he gets rezzed in for JKW just to finish them off. Clutch, though, in a 4v5 situation, continuing to push this payload forward. And it looks
huge
second res. Split second res. That Roadhog had died just a millisecond before that res, was able to get the 3-man. It's a great job coming out from Shake, and he has been on point all series long.
When you look at the positioning right there, Shake was so clutch, Nicholas so clutch. Those two guys' map positioning right there really helped that defensive stand, and every stand counts, every second counts when you're trying to beat that 8-minute, 20-second time.
So right now, Gale Force, good defense so far. We do see the Monkeys jumping on in from the back, and they have to be careful as the bubbles are down. Torque just has to wait it out, but they are going to be able to dodge that. JKW finds the kill on Sakura, so right now, Clutch, that's part of their DPS, has to be careful. Torque falling back as the Primal Rages do get popped. And Louis also pushing forward, trying to get this Mercy, but he gets hooked in by Harblue. Harblue's going to go ahead and proc that whole hog, and right now just disengage from this Clutch team. And that's 3 members down. Finds another hook, cleans up Hamsword. Hots goes down too, and Clutch not able to gain their footing here on the offense.
And I don't think the double Winston was really paying off for him. I think that's why they're switching over to that Reinhardt right now, and they're also switching over to the Roadhog here. So the Roadhog for Gale Force putting in serious work. Clutch trying to copy that, take a page out of their book. They do have 2 ults to push with, Gale Force only with 1. Obviously have to focus Shake here. His res is available. Clutch doesn't know that, and here comes the High Noon.
Oh, I don't understand the decision making behind that High Noon. I mean, you didn't have anyone in your line of sight at that point.
Yeah, it could have been a misclick.
It could have been a misclick. Nicholas in the back line here, no pressure on him whatsoever as the payload has regressed back onto that choke point, so this is just going to become more difficult for Clutch.
Yeah, time not on their side right now. It's been really hard for them to push into that first checkpoint, and can't say enough how important that res was when that Roadhog went down.
Now the High Noons are procced by Clutch, but both of the McCrees getting cleaned up. Torque and Nicholas cleaning that up, and wow, already Lumberjack had the res in tow, but wasn't able to get it off. It's going to be Nicholas to shut that down.
That was so big right there. Someone needs to get on Nicholas. They need to focus him right here. He has the infrasight available, is going to pop it, so Clutch isn't going to be able to sneak around the map and set up like they think they will be able to, and they really don't have an answer right now for the damage coming out from Gale Force.
Yeah, and a minute left on the clock. Gale Force.
So they go back to the double Winston.
They went back to the double Winston. And, you know, Joe Meister has had that teleporter up for a while, but because of the Mercy res, it doesn't matter. He does have to wait out this barrier, but Nicholas is just going to back off, and what a great way to disengage.
Ooh,
coming
nice
out from Gale
flashbang.
Force. Oh, he got the hook, but Louis was able to finish him off, and now he's just going to press forward, aggress on this Reinhardt as the Earth Shatter does come out, and he's going to finish him off. The res does come out, so he does have to be careful. Watch his flank as Louis is still back there, gets the flashbang over the shield, but Torque is going to go ahead and trade 1-for-1. Gale Force holding down the line right now. It's going to be a 3 against 4 at the moment. Clutch has to find their entrance onto this attack, but Nicholas in the back line, 2 quick kills, taking out Hots and Korra.
Someone has to get on to Nicholas. He's just getting infrasight after infrasight. They're getting intel after intel. It looks like they're going to get aggressive here. Push with 10 seconds left. I don't know if Clutch is going to be able to get towards that payload.
He tries to go for the style points at the end here, and looks like Winston is going to jump onto the point, but with that flashbang, he gets killed, and it looks like overtime is procced. It's so close. Are they able to stall it out?
It's not over yet, Jamerson. It's not over yet.
Yeah, they have stalled it out, and Korra is on the hunt for that. Mercy does take him out, and Louis in the back line takes out Nicholas. So there's still some life left in Clutch as the Winstons are back onto the point. Louis with 25 HP has to be careful, but Harblu cleans him up. Winston has jumped back onto the point, but it's so hard to tickle down that Roadhog. He does proc that Primal Rage, has to be careful. Tank v tank battle right now as the whole hog does come up, and now they just want to use it as CC to keep the rest of the team back, and it looks like overtime ticking down. It's going to be Gale Force Esports. No! They get another stall on this overtime right now. It's going to be Lou. He did switch off to that Tracer, and he wants to keep it alive. This is their tournament life on the line. $1,500 on the line. They have to be careful. They cannot stray too far from this point, and Louis in the back line, they don't know he's there. He's starting to clean him up. Recall, 150 HP back in his pocket. He has to be careful. He does have the sticky bomb. Gets him down. Louis keeping this alive.
How did Louis pull that one off right there? Switching to Tracer, desperation play, still in overtime. This payload is continuing to push. Looks like Clutch is not on this one yet. Louis bringing his team back.
Oh, Louis, we were talking about him earlier, the young prodigy, holding this line for his team, keeping the tournament hopes alive. But unfortunately, I don't know if they have the time. I don't know if they have the manpower, as we do see Lumberjack going down, WGB going down. That it's so much on the side of Clutch going down, and as we do see, Louis is still in the back line here. He has to keep this payload active. He has to keep it active. So he does fall back. He has to be careful. He's down to 26 HP. Finally gets cleaned up.
And as soon as he gets taken out, it's over. So Louis doing everything he can to keep his team in it. But Gale Force just too much.
Guys, is anyone still alive down there? Because that was insane. That killed me.
Nuts.
And take a look at this. Nicholas just all the space he needed in the back line here. Oh, shutting down Korra as she tries to go for the high noon WGB. Unfortunately, not enough for the team. Yeah, wow.
Crazy series right there, Jamerson. Absolutely insane.
And we expected this. We expected the hype to increase over the last 2 days, but this is getting to be too much. I don't know if I can handle any more of this. But that's going to be Gale Force Esports moving on to face off against Team Liquid in the losers bracket finals.
And guaranteeing themselves 1,500 bones.
$1,500.
But hey, we got a great analyst desk down below. Let's send it over to them. Rachel, take it. Oh, sorry guys, we are not sending it over there. We are sticking it over here and watching these guys shake hands. And you know what? Hats off to those guys, because they could have easily gave up right there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I got to go out and say, after seeing those crazy plays, I know that production is telling me that they need me to pick my Twitch MVP. I'm going to give it to Louis. I know typically the MVP should be on the winning team, in my opinion, but hey, you got to give them props where it's due.
Yeah, as we saw at the end there when we were taking a look at the camera feed on the main stage over there, Louis, you know, it didn't look like he lost. He had a great time and he had a great showing. So we are going to go ahead and send it down to the analyst desk now, where I think we have a special guest waiting for us.